in your prisons. They actually look at it like that. I got a chance to see what was going on. Oh, okay, this is how my prison.
I would rather be home with my children and my consorting, my nation. I would rather do that. I mean, the experience to me, you know, while it was enlightening to say the least.
The food, yeah, disgusting. Oh, and it was always cold.
Oh my God.
Take it. I already know. I looked at it from a point of view, okay, I see what this looks like. It's my prison. I'm gonna have all y'all in prison. But I'm gonna make sure y'all got a chef.
Everybody's late. I thought Annette was here.
He was. He got this call. What he was doing.
See who?
He was calling somebody. See what's going on.
Oh, he probably was calling me. Trying to get some charging up. It's lawnmowers. I'm trying to set up. I'm running a little behind, so bear with me. It's long. A lot of stuff going on in the world of Sharon, Tracy Del Bay, Moorish American National. Let me see what's going on back here. Oh, look, we got some people on here. It's long. It's lawnmowers. I'm a little bit late, but just on time. A little bit late, but just on time. So I'm trying to get it together, y'all. Give me a minute. I got to get on a bunch of different platforms so I can see the comments. So give me a minute to get acclimated. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, obviously if you want to support the reestablishment of Sharon Tracy Del Bay by Zir Mohammed Judge of the Moorish American Consulate, Northeast Maxim, please donate. I will put on the post the donate information, so you can definitely donate because we do need the finances to uplift fallen communities, as well as to reestablish the Northeast Maxim post head. As you know, all of the things that has transpired, mommy's back home, getting things done. So many new developments in the consulate with processes. I want to know where you guys are at in the grid for real. Like y'all had 25 days I was in captivity in the POW camp, George W. Hill Correctional Facility. My consort, the Corey Christopher Pitts L., who's also Moorish American National, is still currently being detained in that same facility. So in the time that I was there, the question I have for Moors is, where you go? What happened? Why stuff stopped when I left? You're supposed to keep moving forward, regardless. Keep moving forward. So I want to know who got their grids done. I want to know who hid behind the trees, who went back in hiding. I want to know all of those things. Islam.
You came from North Dakota?
Huh?
You came from North Dakota?
No, I don't know what. I've been up here for like 10 minutes. I don't know where you've been.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I was outside when I called you.
You was outside?
I was right out front.
Why was you out front? I ain't see you.
You must have went in invisible mode.
I went in. Oh, maybe it's supposed to be like camouflaging me when the situation arises that it needs to be. That I need to be camouflaged. Whew. So, it's not more.
So you done created a.
You know, I'm so out of my element right now, being all over the place. Just a little bit out of it. Don't have all my faculties yet back. But close to it.
It takes a while to recover from that. That's a mental recovery.
Close to it. Well, if I was in my domicile, I'd already be healed, just so you know. It's lawnmower. Oh, wait a minute, is that foggy? It look a little foggy. It look a little foggy, y'all. I don't know what that's about. It wasn't foggy. Let me come up here. Tell me if it's foggy. It looks foggy to me. It looks quite foggy to me. Oh God! Don't put another book there. Don't put another book there.
No, because when you pull this way, it went back. So make sure it doesn't go way back.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, there we see the resolution. There we go. Move your hand.
Probably the tilt.
Oh, that book's in the way. Dang. I thought I might be able to.
just need you to refocus, phone. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Try.
Come on.
Nobody touches it.
It just needs to focus. I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that good? Oh my God. Oh, I don't have a marker. Islam Moors.
Oh man.
Those are questions I have today. Where are you on the grid, Morse? I have those questions. I need those questions answered. I'm about to go on Facebook just so I can see from my point of view, because as I'm looking at you, I can't see anything of what's going on. I had to keep moving my little butt over here to see if the I don't know why it looks flossy. It looks not as focused as it needs to be. And I don't know why it's doing that. We will find out in a second. Give me a second. Let me pull it up here and look at it through here. It's hot, y'all. Mama's hot. Mama Dukes is hot. Let me open up the window. Mama Dukes is hot. Okay. Is it focused? Is it blurring again?
No, it doesn't look blurry. Yeah.
There we go. Let me put this on. Okay, it's already on there. All right. I think we're good, y'all. I think we can now, if this will enlarge, I can see what you guys are saying. There we go. Oh, I see comments. Islam. Okay. Let me see. Oh, you said place the donation page? Okay. The way to donate to help me in reestablishing the consulate, as well as getting the items back from the Federal Bureau of Investigations. This is the information that I was telling you guys. It's going to take a couple of minutes to get reacclimated in all of these things. And so here's the donations. Please donate. To either PayPal. So please write this down as I'm going to be deleting this off this board. PayPal me at /Ruth Mobitis. And it, sometimes some people say that they can't get, when they put this link in, like you could put this in your web browser and it should automatically put you to PayPal in order to send a donation. Or if that doesn't work for you, because it depends on what type of electronic device you're using, just use the email that's linked to it. And this is the email that's linked to it. So that's the email that's linked to it. SharonTGale@gmail.com. That's SharonTGale@gmail.com. But this is the link that you will put in the browser, as well as if you have Cash App, because I know some people don't like PayPal. You send it here. So you have option 1, option 2, and then obviously option 3 is good old Federal Reserve notes in the envelope to the mailing location. That's still an active mailing location, which is 444 East Township Line Road. But I'll put that over here for you guys. Alright? The care of mailing location to send donations. Please don't send money orders. I prefer you not to send money orders. Either use these 3 outlets, which is 1, PayPal me / Ruth Mobitis, 2, cash.me / $MAC Northeast, or mailing location, care of 444 East Township Line Road, Box 712, near Havertown, Pennsylvania Corporation 19083. Some people exempt the zip, but I know some people have issues when they go to the post office to send the stuff out, and the post office act like they need a mailing location. I mean, a zip code. So you can either put zip exempt, you can either do zip exempt, or you can put that in brackets. When you put it in brackets, it neutralizes it and removes it from the document. Okay? So these are the places to donate. And you can always donate your time, your energy, things that would assist. Anything. For real. The sky is the limit. In the sky, there is no limit. So whatever you got, please support. So that's the information. But I kind of wanted to get, a part of me wants to talk about what happened to the energy after I was detained on the 25th of March. So on the 25th of March, what happened? What did that do to you, Morris? How did that make you feel? And more importantly, did it stop you or did it inspire you? And that's the information, that's the question I have. Did what happened to me, which was unlawful, illegal, and there are plans in action to fix that, how did it make you feel? And did you go back into your box, or did you go back into nom de guerre status, meaning in thought as well as in deed, to kind of get away from the exposure? Because we have to realize the 2 outlets that showed information, that spread the lies. These are the 2 lies and falsities. I don't know what I want to say. I think it was ABC 6. Is that ABC 6? 6 ABC? Which one was that? I can't remember. I supposed to bring it, y'all. I left it home. I did leave it home. AB6 News and the Daily Times. I forgot the actual, if somebody could pull them up so I can get the reporters that reported these 2 on what happened on the 25th of March. Pull it up. But just push it. Oh my goodness. Why are you acting like you can't understand what I'm saying?
Something else.
Pull up, I just want to put the reporters' names up.
Okay, put it up right now.
I'm trying to get the information for the 2 reporters that reported on the so-called event that happened on March 25th, 2019. ABC and Daily Times. Those were the 2 articles that I was able to find on social media by just searching my Moorish appellation. And they put so much Moorish information into those documentations, they really kind of that validated the fact that they were actually partaking in treason, because they were warring against the state and warring against the government, which is us. We are the state and we are the government because we are the sovereigns. And you always have to, I don't know if y'all finished writing this down, but I'm going to erase this now.
I mean, it says, I got ABC News 6, but.
Yeah, what's the reporter? Who's the name of the reporter?
I did it wrong. Is that,
who the hell just flew? I was like, who the hell just flew the door open? Hey, what's up?
I did that wrong. I put that in wrong.
Why can't you just, why is you making this complicated? Islam, mama. Just put Sharon Tracy Galvay.
Oh.
I just told you to do that, Tiger. Islam, Morris. Islam, how are you doing? Let me get some love. I was like, is the Lord gonna be scared? Come to class now. Let's see who gonna be scared.
That's gonna make you come on.
Islam. Oh, I am doing well. I am doing
Welcome back,
awesome.
sis.
Islam, I need the energy from my people. Thank you. Thank you for being
Okay, here you
here.
go. Okay.
Awesome. Who's
I got
ABC6? Who's the
It's two different stories.
right now? I just want to.
Okay.
Dan. Okay, that's
Dan
ABC,
Quayle.
right?
Dan Quayle. C-U-E-L-L.
CUELL. They don't.
Yeah. C-U-E-L-L-A-R.
Now go to the other one.
And two things on Dan.
Go to the other one on Daily Times. Just go back.
Daily Times.
That
Oh, there's
was
another one. Let's see what this
Delco.
one-
That might be it. That is it. Now he is Alex Ross.
Rose. R-O-S-E.
Oh, Rose. Now these could not be their nom de guerre. These could be like aliases because reporters like to report on stuff. Journalists like to also report on things, and they have fake names on their articles because they do be spreading lies, deceit, and manipulation, and people probably be going after their heads, so they have aliases when they report on specific news articles. But no mind, ABC6 News and Daily Times are going to be leaned for them lying on social media about what happened. Islam? So if everybody's got this down, raise your hand so I can erase it. Let's see where we at with comments. Let's see.
Also, that
Okay,
judge,
some people said
she
that they
prosecuted from the bench. She ain't supposed to do that.
exactly.
So that was wrong too.
Well, she's not a judge. Keep in mind, don't give titles of nobility. The administrator of that corporate venue.
Yeah, the administrator of corporate venue prosecuting from the bench ain't supposed to do that.
She was like, "Oh, I'm confused." She said, "I'm confused." Wait a minute. She didn't know what the hell was going on, as well as she was not looking to look. I don't get into subject matter, y'all, because there's no point in getting into subject matter. You have to stay on personam jurisdiction. And somebody needs to look up personam jurisdiction because I'm going to write it on the board. I'm erasing this now. And we're going to get back to where everybody at on a grid. We're going to get back there. And don't think that mommy forgot that part. Because in the midst of everything, and with Taj Tariq Bey, Consulate General of the Consulate, Taj Tariq Bey said emotions. What does emotions do? Did anybody watch that broadcast when I came home? Where he was talking about emotions. He said,
It clogs your pineal gland.
yep, causes your pineal gland to do what? Shut down.
Shut down.
And what does that mean? That means what? When your pineal gland shuts down, what does that mean?
You lose your psychic ability.
Your psychic ability.
Consciousness, your state
Your ability to think.
think.
Your ability to plan courses of actions. Everything shuts down when you get emotional. Everything. And so now you're just dealing with emotions as opposed, and then you can't recall law or those things that you need to recall in order to stay in position. So we have to stop doing that. And we have to stop allowing the Albions to use their media outlets to attack our root chakras.
In persona jurisdiction.
Wait a minute, I ain't ready for it yet. Let me erase. Because what happened to me should have inspired Moors to get their grid done. And y'all had 25 days while I was in. Y'all should be done. I'm just gonna say it. Because that's why I'm here to say it. This is going to take all the smears off. See, like that's gonna smear it. See, it's gonna smear it. I'm trying to do it, y'all. No, see,
Damn, I'm
I'm
trying.
crappy. I'm trying. I ain't trying. I'm doing. So we got to realize their social platforms are part of what they utilize to denationalize you, Morris. They use ABC6, Daily News, all these things that are older generation. They still go to the stores to pick up these papers that spread all types of lies. Islam, how are you?
Fine.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. So you can sit in any chairs. Just to be a little delicate on a thingy because that's like every time you move it might does some stuff. So where was I at? You don't want to start talking subject matter. They're going to continue to try to adjudicate to subject matter because they're not even going to acknowledge. They're trying to get past passed an in personam jurisdiction. And what was that definition? Give me a minute, let me write this down. Moors, you don't want to move from here, no matter what threats they propel out of their mouths. And I'm going to express to you, there were, I didn't count them. There were at least 20 highwaymen, policy enforcers, whether they were from the so-called sheriff's office or whether they were from the actual court itself, surrounding us. We were literally surrounded by policy enforcers. They lined up behind me and my consort, the Corey Christopher Pitzel, and it was like 10 of them in front of me. And then there was some right here on the side of me. And then you had the so-called assistant district attorney of that corporation, which is, what's her name? Anybody get her name? I don't remember her name. But I remember her saying assistant attorney, and I had my hand shackled, so I couldn't even write people's names down. That's how crazy it was, right? And then they had 3 so-called witnesses. One was, what was his name? Michael Chitwood, who was the superintendent of the Upper Darby Police Department, who claimed to have been there to effectuate traffic tickets. There were SWAT, who is under, I don't even know what SWAT's under, if it's under the police department, if it's under the sheriff's department, I'm not sure where SWAT fits in. And then there was the so-called sheriff who was there as well, of the chief sheriff who was there, right? And they had a bunch of different stories as to why they were there. What caused them to come 4 o'clock in the morning, around 4 o'clock in the morning to my domicile. These were the 3 accusations. War rants, traffic, so-called. That was one story. The other story was fraudulent eviction. That was the second story. The third story was what? That the news so-called reported on. Sovereign citizen. Which one? Which one was it? None of them were lawful. Those were rebutted. All of those were rebutted. And not only did that get rebutted and that get rebutted, I also challenged the jurisdictions of all the so-called judiciary of that corporate venue. This was over a year ago, y'all. This ain't even this year. This ain't even in 2018. This was way back in 2017. Now, I didn't do just one judiciary of that corporate venue. I did the whole, I think it was 20 of them, and I sent 20 individually, so they all got them, and they all were listed in each and every one of them. And that was a cohort child. Ann Bardocco, who's the administrator. She's the one so-called trial judge.
Magistrate.
Trial person. I don't even want to call it that. And then you had Harry. They both know, I think it's J or K or whatever, it might be K. Karapalides. They both got an affidavit. I read up an affidavit by day 7 inside, 8 pages. I would have bought it and read it to you, but I'm going to post it in the Facebook group once I finish drafting it up, because I mailed her that on a yellow piece of paper. Well, 6 yellow pieces of paper. But I also redrafted it up, and I'm going to stamp and seal it, and I'm going to post it, and I'm going to send that as well. But I'm working on the writ of discovery and the nature of discovery document right now. But this individual and this individual, both of them are part of these so-called war rants that I had. She dismissed the one that was for parking meter. And I challenged jurisdiction and nationality. She dismissed. He was on 3 specific ones to when I got pulled over traveling in my conveyance for no insurance and no registration and no license. I sent him all the notifications, and I made a special appearance in his tribunal. So they know who I am already, is my point. They already know who I am, and they already have documentation that has been sent to them. They never rebutted. Got their validation and verification for all of those things. Okay? These two people right here, along with all the other 20, as well as the so-called president administrator of that corporation, which is Kelly. Can't think of his whole title, but his name is Kelly. He's the so-called president. I did every last one of them, and Notice to Agent is Notice to Principal. And we got to realize they're going to keep playing because they are what? This is what they are.
Bandits, terrorists, criminals,
They're actors.
outlaws,
But they are this as well.
outlaws.
And why are they those? They're actors. They're actors, acting as if they have jurisdiction, acting as if they have delegation of authority, acting as if they're government, while denying and trying to close their eyes to the actual sovereigns, not sovereign citizens, sovereigns of Morocco. Because they were fed a lie too to say that, y'all came over on slave ships. We was here before y'all came over here. We brought you here. That's why we sovereigns and y'all not. And now we know that was a lie. And now we know they lied about all of the history, which is why my children do not go into their schools, because I don't need to, when they go there, wash their brain when they come home. If you got to wash their brain when they come home, why are they going? Seriously.
They also trade with the enemy, so they're also considered criminals as well.
Who?
The actors, they trade with the enemy.
Who's the enemy?
The Trading with the Enemy Act defines them as trading with the enemy.
Right. Well, who's the enemy?
The enemy is everybody else is not them.
I would call that the bar.
The bar is a corporation that just licensed them, where they got to pay into. That's it.
Registration register.
And the reality is to be a member of a club. And what is their so-called code where it talks about you got to step down from adjudicating any specific cases, even within jurisdiction, because the DA is a bar member. The so-called administrator up on the bench is a bar member. Everybody's a bar member.
Right.
So if you have to be a bar member per the PA Constitution, Pennsylvania Corporation Constitution says, in order for you to hold any of those so-called offices, you have to have a bar card. I think it's 411. I can't remember the code. I was looking for it. I have it in. I gotta find it, y'all, because she cannot adjudicate. He cannot adjudicate. Not only because they don't have delegation of authority, don't have jurisdiction. They are all a part of the same club, which is the Bar Association. And you're not allowed to adjudicate from the bench. That's also in the PA regulations. But the reality is, you don't even got to go to the regulations because they ain't got jurisdiction. Right. And they ain't got in personam jurisdiction. So and then you also have the Act of State. Look up the Act of State. Ain't nobody bring their laptops? Seriously, but you just don't have a bunch of laptops? Yeah. Wait a minute, let me write down the definition of personam jurisdiction. What's that?
Oh, that's a court's authority to determine personal rights and liabilities of the parties before it.
Now, say it again.
The court's authority.
Where do you get that definition?
I just Googled it. Come
on, don't get Black's Law.
Oh, Black's Law? All right.
Mine's is in the store, so.
That's all right, I get it.
You gotta start bringing that book in. I know that book heavy.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's it's really thick. But y'all gotta be bringing those books in. Somebody bring the book in. We're gonna challenge one person to bring the book in, and you can't bring it in because you know why you can't bring it in. I wonder where my Robin at. Where's my Robin? If you're feeling under the weather, I do understand. But where's my Robin?
I'm under the weather. I know she's got to be under the weather.
Huh?
Today's anniversary.
It's today? I thought it was yesterday. Happy anniversary to Saul Bradley Bay and Robin Bradley Bay. I don't know what years those are. Did they give you the years? Anniversary?
How many years?
Yeah. Did they give it to you? Well, everybody wish Robin and Saul a happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And I send light and love and healing energy.
What's the fourth edition? What's it?
The fourth edition. And for some, thank you, Anil. Now, my question is, does anybody need to nationalize? Everybody's nationalized here?
No.
You need to nationalize?
Yes.
Okay, let me get you started on that document, and that will help you.
Yeah, I know what it is. I just couldn't see because it's the reflection.
While we're waiting for the in personam definition
Jeez.
from Slowpokes over here. I multitask, y'all. This is what I do.
Because you want
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody put a USC. Is that the USC, Dode? Is that the USC? Oh, is that? Which one is it? Y'all sent two of them. It said I think it's 411 or 441 or I don't know. I wish Kometu was here because he would tell me exactly which one it is. Kometu, I'm going to send energy for you to jump on this live and tell us where that conflict of interest, because they're all part of the same organization, the Bar Association, which makes them unable to adjudicate anything. They can't. And y'all supposed to be knowing these darn things. We supposed to be knowing these things.
Is that in the Pennsylvania Constitution?
What?
Is that in the Pennsylvania
What
Constitution?
I'm talking about is in the U.S.
U.S.
Yeah,
Constitution.
Keep in mind, your state codes, the state constitutions can't touch the Constitution for the United States of America. I keep telling people, if you know the Constitution of the United States of America and all of those laws enacted before 1861, when they did what did they do in 1861? Synodia, when they dissolved that platform, it's 1861 because they went to war. Anything after that is not law, okay? So even if it's favorable, it's not law. And the Constitution tells you what you can and can't do. And it says, even in the Bill of Rights, what they absolutely can't do, which is what they did to me on this day, March 25th, 2019, without any lawful order to do so, where they seized not only myself and my consort under nom de guerres, because we're Moorish American nationals. You have to realize they're using those nom de guerres, those straw mans, to hypothecate you, the being. And that's why you lean it. You lean it so they can no longer sit here and try to claim there was an identity issue where something that doesn't exist and only exists on paper as opposed to the natural being. So they're trying to deceive not only you, but the whole world to say, oh, I got this Negro colored black person, this nom de guerre, when you clearly stated for the record, on the record, who you are. And nobody can refute that, and nobody can sit here and attach a nom de guerre to you unless you attach it. You have to be the one to attach it. Meaning you say, I'm Sharon Gale, all caps. Then you've attached yourself to that nom de guerre. But nobody can attach that to you. And let me tell you, when I was in a POW camp, that's George W. Hill Correctional Facility that has been leaned for continuing to detain me under that false nom de guerre, as well as my consort, Corey Christopher Pitts L., who's currently still being detained on a $250,000 so-called bond. They would sit here and say, Sharon Gale. No, I'm Sharon Tracy Del Bay, Moorish American National. I'm not that nom de guerre on that paper. Well, this paper says, I don't care about the paper. I'm telling you who I am. I determined my descent. I determined my identity. The paperwork that I signed with my thumbprint in red validates me. So under threat, duress, and coercion is the only way I'm signing anything, and I'm already under threat, duress, and coercion because I'm sitting in a POW camp while my babies are out there fending for themselves with other family members, and my consort is down the hall who I can't speak to or even send mail to because we are so-called co-defendants. Let me tell you. And then the phone calls, trying to get phone calls out, trying to get phone calls in, it was crazy. It was crazy. I had to get the hell out of there. I'm happy to be home. Completely. No matter what. Completely. Islam? All right. Where we at? I'm still waiting for impersonal jurisdiction.
Yeah, we have to find it. It's on here. It's in here. I'm getting close.
You got it?
I can't even log on to the
You can't?
Wi-Fi.
Why?
It won't let me.
The Wi-Fi is... Yeah. Look at... You're open. I be telling y'all, man, y'all better take some computer classes. Go in there. No, go in that one.
PERS.
Oh, now it's gonna go.
I know, because I bought this
here.
energy. Yeah, I bought the energy. I be trying to tell people it's you. It's
Here you
really
go.
you.
For sure. For sure.
Now, I hope I didn't jump ahead of you here. You know?
What you do?
I
You done got a money or
Yeah, I got
you trying to
money.
fight? And then you put RV back. That's not us. See, look, y'all be doing the most. Doing the most.
That's what it said. The pay to
What?
accessibility.
That is not our website.
Okay.
That is a website of RV Bay. You at the Moorish American Consulate.
Okay.
I know it's multiple avenues.
Well-
It's multiple venues.
Not only that, I've been listening now for about a year and a half. I've been hearing you for about
Yeah.
7 months. You know, so I'm just coming into knowing who I am.
It's long.
You know, and
So the only thing I would say to do with that
Mhm.
is to take that to your bank and deposit it.
Okay.
And then either deleted it. Then either do PayPal, Cash App, or you can send the Federal Reserve notes in. But if you have PayPal and Cash App,
Okay.
you can send it that way.
All
But deposit that back into your account.
Okay. All
Because
right.
you have already wrote all over it.
Yeah. All right.
This is essence.
So I'll wait and do this here. All right.
But you can still do your nationality. You ain't got to hold up on any of that stuff. You can still do all your paperwork. Just send the PayPal later.
Okay. All right.
It'll probably be
You ready?
in percent. I gotta go to N.
Oh, you ready for which definition?
It
In personam jurisdiction, we got black law, right? All right, what's the definition?
says
What page is that?
there's no page.
No.
There's no page. I just put in
In person of jurisdiction
Mhm.
denotes authority over the person, while in rem is reserved for cases in which a court's authority is limited to specific property or things.
That it?
That's it.
All right. In personam jurisdiction, authority over the person. That's all I really had to read. While in realm, you want to go to in realm because in realm is talking about a thing. It's talking about property, things that are not natural, not beings. And they put in realm proceedings on you, attaching to the thing and trying to kind of go around the person, right? So when you so-called have so-called court cases under these corporate tribunals, for instance, for mortgages, they try to do in realm proceedings for the property, and not realizing that you ain't got in personam jurisdiction,
Right.
and you don't even have in realm jurisdiction for the property,
Right.
because those mortgages, those rents, all of those so-called things are unlawful and illegal, and they can't stand up to the sovereign. They can't stand up to that. And somebody read squatter. What is it, squatter? Yes, squatter. Because I heard references to Moorish American nationals squatting. I want to dispel what squatting means. I'm going to tell you, but y'all going to look up the definition because we're going to read it. But squatting is what everybody who's foreign to Morocco are doing currently right now. They're all squatting while you're sending dedonuses, gifts, tributes to your oppressor through the Federal Reserve note system. And even though the Federal Reserve note system is not money, your labor is what's generating that. So you are technically working against yourself by being labeled as a nom-de-guerre. So to squat means that you don't have title, heirship, estate rights at Morocco. I have estate rights here. Just like every other Moorish American national, whether they're declared or undeclared, they have estate right. Nobody can refute their claim. That's why they don't. You can't sit here and send a claim to what so-called administrators of Wells Fargo. They're gonna be like, look, that's mine. I'm refuting it. Well, how are you refuting it? What's your point by point? What's your documentation? A fraudulent deed that was issued by who? Who was the deed issued by? I keep talking to y'all counties, man. The counties lean them all. Already did Philadelphia's own, Pennsylvania corporations already done. Go to the website, download it, read it, manifest it, because it has all of the darn administrators on it, so you don't even got to do that research, already done. Download it. All right. In personam jurisdiction, authority of the person, while in realm is reserved for cases in which a court, an actual court with authority. Article 3, y'all. They gotta have Article 3 jurisdiction. And where do they get that? They get that from the sovereigns. They get that from us. They can't manifest it no other way. But in these tribunals, which is why they ask you those 3 questions, and not when I was in that POW camp, I naturalized 5 Moors. And I don't want to say their appellations because I don't know how comfortable they are with their information being out there. But I nationalized 5 Moors. And I told them, when you go into those tribunals, this is what they're going to do to you. This is the code. This is how they gain jurisdiction and gain trusteeship over you without you even freaking knowing it. And then they start adjudicating and putting you in there and giving you a, what do you call it? And giving you so-called probation. People are in there on probation for nothing. Wasting their time away in a facility, losing everything while you're there. Jobs, losing the jobs. If they're renting, losing the house, so-called houses they live in. If they have children, their children's in care of either other family members, if you got a good family, or they're at CYS or any of these other so-called child protective services corporations that you didn't even authorize through a contract to even get involved.
Right.
I forgot what I was about to write here, y'all. Ooh, something. It's gonna come back to me.
System.
It's just your power of the United States.
Oh, it's all right. Thank you, baby.
Right, that's for the points.
So this is this one. One of you can assist him so he don't butcher this paper. Because I ain't giving you no more copies. You only get 2.
Yeah.
Right? Very, very neat. Very, very orderly. This is your nationality documents.
Now, do I need this?
No, I have another form for you. It's the info sheet and then the ID sheet.
Right.
And until I get my machine, until I get my nationality identification machine, that's for all Moors, I'm routing. I want my machine on Monday, Tuesday. Just know this. I will be diligent, and y'all be diligent, because not only do they have my information, they have y'all's. Yep. So y'all need to be calling the so-called FBI office down in Philadelphia, corporation territory, and complaining and telling, as well as an affidavit that me and Light are drafting. I've already drafted mine, and I've already signed and sealed mine, and I'm going to upload it today and tonight and put it on the Facebook page. But you need to be sending it. It's going to be a 1-page affidavit. Either send it through fax, email, or fold it up and put it in an envelope and send it up. Because they have our information, our Moorish American Consulate information, and that is protected under Vienna Conventions on Consular Affairs, and we need all that information back. That is in the form of a laptop and 3 cell phones and a ID label maker. Those are the things that they have, and until I retrieve mine back, all nationality orders I am going to send up either to Abbasi or Brandy. Abbasi or Brandy or Darius, but I think I'm just going to go with Brandy and Abbasi until my machine is returned to me, whereas though I can literally get it done in like a day or 2. So going forward, so Brandy, if you're on this platform, please post or at least email me your information and your order form so I can use those in conjunction, as well as Abbasi. So when I get at least 5 orders, I'm going to mail them to you, so you can process those orders and send them just directly back to me, so I can disseminate them to the Moorish American Nationals. Okay.
Can the FBI be? That's an agency.
Yes, they can be leaned, and they're already going to be leaned, because I'm working on that tomorrow. Is that the question you had? Okay. Because you shouldn't have took my stuff, and if you took my stuff, there should have been a custody of exchange. And Michael Donahue down in Media Courthouse, Chief sheriff should have been able to give me that information, but all I got was a sticky with Agent Spook. And now I'm coming to find out that's an alias. That person doesn't even exist. It's just an alias. Wow. So I need my things. I would put the phone number on this platform, but I don't want you Moors to be killing me with calls, so I'm not going to it.
The question should be, what do they
send me a text message to 610-803-1170. What you say?
So the question should be, what are they hiding from? They did all these acts of
because they do a lot of deception. They do a lot of fraud. They go in there and destabilize a lot of countries. They do a lot.
They call you.
And they got to hide their identities because people probably come looking for them.
They call you and are nice on the phone and convince you to go visit them. And they trap you. And they say you're conspiring against them. And that's how they do it. They're real nasty.
So.
Well, it's long.
It's long.
How are you?
How are you? Welcome.
Okay,
Ashe. Wow, everything's going great. There we go. Oh, somebody said, now you got me hungry. I shouldn't have had to I shouldn't have to come home and give y'all no damn energy more. Y'all supposed to be giving me energy while I was in that dump field. Oh my goodness, let me tell you the food. I must be deflecting every now and then. But let me tell you, the first 7 days, all I did was drink water all day, water. And then after the first 7 days, all I ate was everybody's peas or carrot. I ate carrots.
All the vegetables.
All the vegetables.
Yes.
And then after about day 20, I'm like, you see, I got skinny. These are size 12 pants. I was an 18, just so you know. Size 12, 18, 25 days. So you know I ain't been eating. I was yodeling it up. I was kundaliniing it up. I was running it up. I was working out, trying to keep my mental frequency correct and on point. But then when I started talking to Moorish American nationals in here about their nationality, the light just was flickering. It was just lovely and beautiful. And I met some beautiful Moors in there that a couple of them left before I did. One of them was Rachel. I'm not going to say the rest of her appellation, but she nationalized along with like 4 or 5 other stars in there. It was a beautiful experience. Now, don't get it twisted. I love nationalizing, but I'd rather be out here free doing it.
So was your bail was the same as your husband?
No, mine was lower. But initially they both were $250,000. Yes. They just didn't want me to get out, y'all. I'm just telling y'all. They wanted me to stay in there so they could kind of do all the stuff that they was trying to do. Oh, my baby's not coming. You go, Lady T. I want that exact recipe. Oh, wait a minute, Robin. You got to sit here and tell us what year anniversary you're on right now. I'm missing my Robin. But you stay healthy. You stay healthy, Mama. But I'm missing you. I'm really missing you. Okay, where's the? I'm sick. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody went in. What is this? All right, I'm coming. Is there any updates on the effects of the liens, meaning how it's working as it being harsher to offending corpses? You really want me to go there, Michelle? Really? Right now, liens? That's what I want to. That's what you want me to talk about? I'm talking about where am I at? My yacht. I'm talking about impersonal jurisdiction. Liens. They effectuate. You can monetize them after 90 days. 90 days. 90 days. And what is a lien? Why can we lien? Why are you trying to get me off the tangent? I'm not getting off the tangent. Y'all bring me back to this video, the liens in a second. I just want to say where I'm at. Not subject matter. Impersonal jurisdiction.
What you're speaking on.
So authority over the person. How does one gain authority over the person? And somebody look up the active state doctrine. Because that is fire. Write it down. That little notebook, really? You gonna work with that little notebook?
That's what I brought. I'm good. I'm on foot.
Now, how about nationality? You good? You got your stuff done?
Actually, I need to get witnesses on 2 of these documents and get them.
Well, how about we just go give you some legal size ones? Because you got 8.5 by 11.
You're talking about as far as these?
Yeah.
Concerned? Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yes.
And since you're sitting over there next to him, you're gonna make sure he fills it out appropriately. And then you got your witnesses right there.
He's already pre-filled.
State.
So it's gonna be two copies. One's gonna stay with the consulate, and the other copy is going to go to you, original to you. You need a red pen?
Oh, I have.
Got one? Anybody got the active doctrine, the active state doctrine? You have it? What does it say?
Says the active state doctrine states that every sovereign state is bound to respect the independence of every other sovereign state.
I'm spelling it.
And
The red lines.
And the courts
This is for your non-big
will not sit in judgment
There you go, I found it.
of another government's acts,
Acts, ACTS?
ACT, yeah, done within its own territory.
Yeah. It's page 975.
Active state doctrine. You can blow them out of water with just the damn active state doctrine.
Page 975.
I'ma read it for y'all.
Persona.
States, the active state doctrine states every sovereign state. We're going to look up sovereign. It's only one peoples that are sovereign here, named Moorish American nationals. Everybody else is foreign. Everybody else is foreign. Okay? You can't be sovereign on another man's land.
Right.
You cannot have that ability. You don't have it. It'll never. And the only ability we gave the Albions is through the Declaration of Independence is the ability to do commerce with the Constitution for the United States of America.
Right.
That's what we gave them. We never gave them sovereign rights.
None of that.
Never gave them that. Our people wouldn't have been going for that. Because guess what? Can we give them sovereign rights? No. Our property, our land, our resources is unalienable and inalienable and non-transferable. We can't give anything away. So they were never sovereigns. They were only given protection under our Moroccan government to partake in trade, but there were stipulations, which is the supreme laws of the land, for that to be done. All right? So states, the active doctrine, the active state doctrine states that every sovereign state, that means whatever states we as Moorish American nationals establish, is bound to respect the independence of every other sovereign state. And the courts will not sit in judgment of another government's acts done within its own territory. But we have a corporation, a service corporation, trying to do that very thing. Adjudicate when they don't got in personal jurisdiction and they don't have no authority over the person, and you're covered under the active state doctrine because you're sovereign. You're not a sovereign citizen. And why, Moors, can you never be a sovereign citizen?
Because citizens are subject to
What?
Right.
to the sovereign.
There we go. Say it, everybody. Say it, everybody. The citizens are subject to the sovereigns. The Moors are the sovereigns of the citizens or subjects, which are everybody else.
Right.
And the only people that are probably outside of that status are those we have treaty agreements with as the Moors. You heard me?
And all of our tribes are Moorish tribes. So whatever tribal affiliation you have, it's a Moor.
So let's think about this. If you part of the tribe, All right. If you're part of the Cherokee tribe, you're Moorish American National part of the Cherokee tribe. And then you got the Moorish American Nationals part of the Wichita tribe. If they are over here in this territory and the Wichita are over here in this territory, these people cannot adjudicate for them. These people cannot adjudicate for them. They are separate sovereigns, subject to their own land. So if you come over here and try and do some things, now we got to sit here and figure out what kind of contracts we have between one another, and we will have already established those. But their laws cannot equate to the Moors over here in their laws. They're sovereign in their own capacity. Islam, and if injuries occur, remedy has to be given. But nobody can seize the body because they don't have authority over the person. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all get me? Y'all get me?
Gotcha.
Y'all got me?
Gotcha.
God.
Islam. I want to see some questions.
It's page 120 in 4th edition. And
Now, somebody said Upper Darby has a home rule charter of 1736. All right. What's a charter? Charter is just like a contract. Same thing. Ain't no difference. But who established it? Who issued it? Because Upper Darby is a corporation. Keep this in mind. They're corporations. If we didn't establish it and that darn charter wasn't signed by a Moorish American National within that particular territory that they are domiciling, that charter don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Just like how the deeds don't mean nothing. Just like how the so-called rental contracts don't mean nothing. They are squatters squatting on your land, trying to call you the squatter. Did anybody look up the squatter definition?
Yes.
Did everybody put this down? Because I want somebody to lead them. I don't want to do it. I'm trying to push responsibility out to you, Moors. Lean ABC6 News, Dan Collier, I don't know how to spell it. Quayer, and then Daily Times, Alex Ross. For genocide, for treason, for defamation of character.
Rose.
Say stuff with
C-U-E. Go ahead.
LLAR. Quayle.
Lean them, y'all. And then send me the link when I'm done so I can post it. Alex Ross.
Rose.
I'm sorry. I don't know why you said Ross. I don't know why. And he's Daily Times. And if you do a quick search under Sharon Tracy Del Bay by Moorish Appellation, those 2 articles will come up and you can have that as proof of the lien.
They we looked up the daily news, local news. A lot of these small papers have owners all over the place. So when you do your research,
Right?
they're like nationals, not international, but they got a lot of owners. So when you got to find the one that's in control. Get that one, because otherwise they'll be all over the place trying to list them.
The headquarters, go to dnb.com for the headquarters. So that will be the location. And then you will go to their particular website and go and find either the leadership team or the board of directors. And those would be the leaders.
For example, I'm ready to do Paoli Hospital. It's main line that owns Paoli Hospital, but they also own Lancaster and the other ones. So it's a bunch of.
So you do Paoli. You do the
We do Paoli first, and then we get the main line.
Just do the main
leadership.
line. Just do leadership because they all.
But I'm gonna list
Or
Paoli
you
as
list them
part.
all of them. List them all that are local. So if there's like 5 of them, list all 5.
Well, I got it set up so I just do the main line, who they are, the management, and then put Paoli Hospital.
Underneath it?
The chief executive is listed as that. He don't list anybody else. So he's the chief executive, and they got all the main line, which got everybody, all the managers. That's how I saw it. So I'm just giving an example. It's crazy looking for this stuff.
I did all the police departments in our area, sheriff's department. And
What area is that?
Cumberland County. I did
surrounding there.
No, did you do a lot of these police departments are part of the townships? Did you do the township?
They're not part of their contract. They're subcontracted to provide services for the township, the security. They're like the security guards of the township.
Oh, okay, because I got it set up so it's just to get the township, you get that list of policemen. So you got.
You know how many list of police departments it is in a particular county?
Yeah, we got them all.
No, because I got 4 because 4 of them went on against us.
Do you realize for any particular county they could have like 10 They can have up to 10.
Yes.
Are these all signed and you got all your signatures?
Yes.
Everybody, oh, we got everything, cool. All right, and then you can do the sealing on it then.
I just got to seal your thumbprint. No, they not. Oh, wait. You're talking about this
Y'all
right
got
here?
a thumbprint, please?
I had to sign a long,
No money on
yeah.
this.
I had my money order.
Hey, every time you communicate with these people, a copy of your nationalization should go with them.
Say it again?
That's what I do.
This is his.
Every time you communicate with these people, copy your nationalization go with them because they people act dumb.
See,
They
that's
got
why
brain
the
fog.
website is so important for us to be uploading information. And we might have to going forward because we have to increase the storage for the Moorish American Consulate.org. So it might be like a $10 Federal Reserve note donation for that so we can pay for the upgraded storage. So because we want everything to be on that website. So because we don't want to keep sending big packages of documents to these individuals. We want to give them a cover letter and send them to the website to download the documents so we don't have to keep wasting paper because they can download it themselves. And I'm a firm believer of the less is better, and put them out and keep sending people to the website to get their directives and their commands from the government. Instead of us, adding like 10-page documents in the mail, when we could just put one cover letter with all the lawful documents and send them under the record number to the Moorish American Consulate public notice page, and that's where we're sending everybody, as opposed to having it, sending it all. Plus, if you get an attack and somebody takes your things, they're on the website.
Also, they
Hey, Mama,
there are many
Yes.
oaths of
At the
office.
library, we had to have.
Anybody have the golden key? Send me your email address.
No, it's today.
I'll give you the
We
golden
booked
key.
the room for you.
And the guy lays down. These people are upset because they don't have access. So you're getting all this information.
I did
But
send you a text message.
we got to back up. We gotta
You
get
must not
a
have
database of all the oaths of office. So anybody gets elected, go to the right, Pennsylvania. Because each state is different. Go to the right to know officer or open records officer in that county, that department, because they go by agency,
Wow,
and ask for the certified copy of the oath of office. Basically, you just want a copy, and we send it to the
4:30.
consulate. Because then you give a backup.
At 4:35.
And
What
then
time does the
you
library
hold
close,
people
y'all?
accountable by through the
Fine.
mail,
Oh, we'll be here at 5 then.
and he gives you instructions on how to do it so that I got a stamp made. Stamp, sign off. I accept your oath.
What you mean?
When I went to the administrator, I told her, I accept your oath. All of a sudden, she became nice.
I don't know. Well, how about call me around 5 and then we'll find out after we leave here where to be.
County,
We don't have
All right.
across the river.
Okay. Well, Camden County, you still got a chance because even though New Jersey is crazy, they still racist. The fact is,
Come on, no, don't be getting into those little conversations, Tiger.
I know,
What was we talking about?
but the oath of office will work.
Yeah.
We're speaking on the active state, and the lien.
Squatter too.
Squatters.
Squatters.
And
You got the definition of it?
6
What's the definition?
ABCUs.
A person who unlawfully occupies.
This is the consulate's copy. All this is going to be is
An uninhabited building.
Uninhabited.
I thought that sounds weird.
Uninhabited building. You could have the end. Or unused land.
I usually do it at the end of the signature.
Where did you get that definition?
Sure. This is black. And
That was it? That was the end of it? That was it? Because there's more.
it's supposed to be
Somebody look it up in the Black's Law.
Squatter, Black's Law.
Because it speaks specifically to people who have title, who have right of claim, and who have sovereignty of the land.
Now, for active state for Black's Law, your definition is more detailed than this one.
What's it
It's on page 120. Same, but it says an act done by the sovereign power of a country or by its delegate within the limits of the power vested in him. An act of state cannot be questioned or made the subject of legal proceedings in a court of law.
That's a good one, too.
That's good, yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. Page 120, fourth edition.
Page 124 edition.
Yeah. That way everybody can look it up. Page 124. That's why I tell you what page is it?
124?
Page 120, fourth edition. 120. 4th edition, Black Law. And Persona Rem is 975. Let me make sure. Let me double check to make sure it was on there. 975. But this is different definition. It says, in persona, comma, in rem. In Roman law from which they are taken, the expressions in rem and in persona were always opposed to one another. An act or proceeding in persona being one done or directed against or with reference to a specific person, while an act of proceeding in rem was one done or directed with reference to no specific person and consequently against or with reference to all whom it might concern. Huh?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is what they use to hypothecate and get around this.
Wow.
They use it in realms to get around persona.
Yeah, that's just what they do.
Yeah.
They like to do that. So whenever you get your so-called documents from their tribunals, it always says in realms proceedings.
All right, what's on
because they know damn well they don't have jurisdiction of the person.
It's on 975.
975? Yeah, 975. So in personam jurisdiction is on page, give me squatter. It's on page 975 of the 4th edition of Black's Law.
And warn them there's twists and circles. Because the way you got it is a little clearer.
Yeah, it is clear. Well, okay, we know in personam jurisdiction. Jurisdiction over the person. And realm is the so-called jurisdiction over the item, the product. I didn't seized up. Okay. Of the property. So they'll sit here and say, we got in realm proceedings for that, let's say 36 North Harwood corporate address. So that's what they're trying to get in realm proceedings on while ignoring the in personam jurisdiction that they're violating. You know what I'm saying? So the active state doctrine in the Black's Law 4th edition is on page 120. So that's on page 120. Print it out, write it out, know it. This is your protection. They can't do any of the things that they're doing. States, every sovereign state is bound to respect the independence of every other sovereign state. So we talk about sovereign states. We ain't even talking about corporations. They ain't even in this. They ain't even in this. They're like, you don't even got authority to even be calling me in here. And the reasons why we leave those straw men is so you can't sit here and try to act like you're confused as to who I am and who I am not. There will be no identity theft going on because that's what's been going on. Them hypothecating you in your estate through identity theft, even though they try to create all these little commercials. Oh, we got to protect your identity. They're the very ones stealing it.
And they suffocate.
All right. So squatter is a person who is unlawfully occupies an uninhabited building or unused land, right? So they're saying that, okay, you went to an unused land. Now let's think about this logically because there's a better definition that I saw that went a little bit deeper talking about the sovereigns and people who are not sovereign. So, when the Albions came here, they automatically started squatting.
Yes, they did.
They started squatting because they didn't have any rights to be here, many of them, and they were occupying land that were being uninhabited, right? But some of them were just coming around and taking stuff that belonged to other people too. Right. So squatter is people who don't have authority or lawful position to be within a home that somebody is not in. So when you think of squatting, there's another definition. Somebody posted it on Facebook. It was better. Let's see. Oh my! I saw my mama girl. Goodness, there's a lot of comments. I gotta get all the way down to the bottom. What? Oh, squatter is on page 1575 of Black's Law 4th edition. You got the one who settles on another land, particularly on public lands, without legal authority.
What page is that?
1575.
Oh, I'm down at 1650. Okay.
Okay.
1575, that's squatter. This the 4th edition?
Yes.
Nah, I'm in R. Where is that?
It could be the way.
Nah.
It's long to read. So.
Nah, it's the wrong one.
Now, oath of office. Can I ask a question? Why y'all need oaths of offices? I just want to ask that question. First of all, they're going to hide the information. Second of all, you're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to find it. How you getting it?
Oh, you get it easy. They give it to you right away.
Who?
Right to know law. They give it to you.
Who?
Right to know law. They give it to you.
Right to know law. Who
Yeah.
gives it to you?
The open records office for each agency. They'll give it to
The
you.
Open Records Office?
Yeah, they give it to you.
Have you gotten it from your...
Yes, I got it for
And how'd
Joshua.
How'd you get it?
I just asked him for it.
Who?
Open records officer.
So there's an Open Records
For
Officer
every agency
in media. Is that where you went?
No, in my case, for
that's in Delaware.
Shapiro, it was Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
For media, you just go to the open record office in that agency.
Open
They'll give you
Records-
anything you want.
He says Open Records
In
Office.
Philadelphia,
Now, do they
for the
charge you
judge-
for the? Do they charge you for the open?
if you want a certified
Open
copy,
office?
if you want a certified copy, just get a copy. They'll give it
So
to you.
they
for
say
free.
Open Records.
Listen, wait, before you go any further, it's called the Right to Know Law for Pennsylvania, RTKL, Right to Know Law. Okay, that's the abbreviation, RTKL. Okay, and the Open Records Officer under that particular law for them is called the Open Records Office. And that person is authorized to give those information that you want in addition to an oath of office. You can get anything you want.
So how much do they charge you for those?
Nothing, unless you want a certified copy. So for the police department, for that particular place that gave us a hard time, they wanted $1.50 for each one certified. Otherwise, I got a copy of everything.
Okay. So as Tiger is talking, he says at
That's Pennsylvania. Each state got their own jurisdiction. got their
Open
own-
Records, you have to go to the county office because wherever you're at, the county office, because that's probably where it's at. And then you have under the right to know law, because if the PA has the right to know law, every other so-called corporate has the right to know law. And the oath of office. What did the oath of office say when you got it?
They, I got a copy right now.
You got a
Read it
copy?
to you.
Yeah, read it.
They give you what they say they do. The hard thing is get the bond. But
I keep trying to tell you. Of course, the hard thing is getting the bond.
But the magistrate.
Because they want to hide it.
No, the magistrate in Chester County, we got his bond. I got his bond.
How'd you get it?
I asked
I
for
did
it
something wrong.
But at the same open office?
at the Open Records Office for that county.
Okay.
And they
So
gave it
you
to
can
me.
get so when
I
they
can
say
also
you
get insurance
hold on.
policy for each one too, for all the employees.
Isn't that all connected? Insurance policy.
They'll give you the bond is one thing, insurance policy is another for employees to be covered. Then you got the bond for the individual operating individually because he's got to show performance and financial responsibility.
Yeah.
So a bond's a different process, different kind of contract. But I wanted to reason why I'm doing this because then we can start holding responsibility.
Yes.
That's what Todd's been talking about.
I guess I could-
And this kind of stuff I want to build up for the consulate to have it for everything. Every county, every state, get them all.
Okay.
And then when they get elected, same thing. Then we start planning to do our own elections and take over, and then get the and hold ourselves responsible for our offices.
Absolutely.
Right now, we gotta get them. So,
Yeah, just
let's
go over
hey,
top
I got it
of
right.
your,
Let me bring this up right now. Cause I wait for this. Okay,
And then,
here it is.
and then do this.
I'm gonna read one to you.
Yeah, what you
I got a bunch of
Tiger's going to read the oath of office that he has, as well as tell us what name of the corporate ward he got that oath of office from. And I'm going to sit down and let him read it. So you can understand what their oaths are, even though having a copy of their oath is very unnecessary. Because guess what? When you go to the state constitution, the Pennsylvania state constitution, the state constitution has an actual snippet in the constitution of what the damn oath of office is. So if they're up there on there acting as if they are a so-called administrator, a so-called judge, a so-called whoever, they've had to take in that pledge that's in the actual PA constitution. Go ahead, read it.
Okay,
Stand up and read it.
oath of office
Stand up and
for
read it. Stand up and read it. Unplug. Stand up and read it.
but this helps. They
And
made
reflect.
an oath. Okay, so
But you know they made an oath because they're sitting on that so-called bench.
okay, this is for Kathy Gazzoni. She's the commissioner, one of the 3 commissioners in Chester County in Pennsylvania Corporation.
So she's a commissioner as well as a so-called magistrate?
No, she's the commissioner
Okay.
of the county.
Okay.
Okay, so the 3 commissioners in Chester County
Uh-huh.
are ahead of the Chester County Justice Center.
Right.
That the chief administrative magistrate, the so-called president judge, is under. So this is what I've been doing. I've been researching all this. I, Kathy Gazzoni, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. That's where the bond comes in.
Yeah.
It's hard getting those bonds. That I have not paid or contributed or promised to pay or contribute, either directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing to procure my nomination or election, except for necessary and proper expenses expressly authorized by law, and that I have not knowingly violated any election law of this Commonwealth. I procure to be done by others in my behalf, and I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office other than the compensation allowed by law. Signed by Kathy Gazzoni, Commissioner, and
Read the first sentence. The first.
taken sworn and subscribed before me this day on January 3rd, 2016. Jacqueline C. Cody, President Judge, Chester County Court of Common Pleas.
Read the first paragraph again.
I want to read hers instead. Jacqueline Cody. That's the one that's presiding.
Okay.
Okay.
And inflect your voice a little better.
What do you mean?
Just go louder.
Oh, okay.
Finish.
Right here, what's on there?
Jacqueline Cody. Okay. Here you go.
And say Jacqueline Cody's oath of office and then read it.
Jacqueline Cody's oath of office. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, County of Chester. President Judge's oath of office. I, Jacqueline Carroll Cody, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of President Judge of Chester County, 15th Judicial District, with fidelity. Now, in the Pennsylvania law, where I found out, they're not required, elected officials are not required to have a bond by Pennsylvania, but they have to have one at some point. So somewhere there's a bond that she has. Otherwise, she can't function. She's an elected official. She's got to have a bond.
And because she's elected official of that corporation, but more so because she's a corporation, that information is supposed to be available.
Mm-hmm.
So if she violates the Constitution, which was the first thing that they said, not the state, the Constitution for the United States of America, if she violates that, we need to have the information to place a lien on her for the injury. That's why it's supposed to be public.
That's why we're doing this. I'm getting all this to make it so we get into the concept so they have a database of all these people. This is a big political campaign we're going to have nationally. That's why I'm working on this.
Great job.
Taken and sworn this before this 29th day of December 2014. Jack McElry, President Judge, Chester County Court of Common Pleas. That was December 2014. So she's been president since.
Go down to the part. Go down to the part at the beginning.
That's the Tom Hogan. He's the district attorney.
All right, wait a minute. Go right here. All right.
Oh, you read his too? Oh, yeah.
No, I ain't gonna read it.
That was on public. That's why.
Oh, all right.
You read it on public.
Tom Hogan. Okay, so this is Tom.
He's supposed to be district attorney.
So this is Tom Hogan, District Attorney of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, County of Delaware. of Chester. I, Tom Hogan, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth. You always gotta read. This is the corporate Constitution. This isn't the other Constitution, the real Constitution, which is the Constitution for the United States of America. This is the corporate Constitution. That's why it's different. It's a little different, but it's the same at the same time. But because they swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States of America, and the Constitution of the United States of America is similar and identical to the Constitution for the United States of America, same language. You could probably read it, same language, just has more amendments and Bill of Rights. Pull up the Constitution of the United States. Pull it up. And read the Bill of Rights. Somebody.
10 Bill of Rights.
Huh?
You just said 10 Bill of Rights.
Constitution of the United States.
And the reasons why they changed it somewhat is so they could act as if they were in compliance with the Constitution when they were not. But regardless of what their so-called oaths say, because they are doing commerce where? At Morocco. And to do commerce at Morocco, you have to agree to that commercial contract, which is the Constitution for the United States of America. You cannot circumvent that, no matter how you do a play on words. And when we don't read appropriately, we miss that.
This is we the people of the United States, in order to form a perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic equality. Well, actually, we the people of the United States. Then it goes to do, ordain, and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
That's us. We're the United States. They're the underscore. And actually, in older documents, it talks about the United Colonies. The United Colonies of Great Britain. So you got to keep in mind that they might have switched up that actual name so they could hide the fact that they changed it.
Right.
And so as we get older, because I've seen documents that says the United Colonies or Union Colonies of Great Britain.
Yes.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, because King George was cooperating after 1763, opened all the jails, sent them here.
Right.
So all these people are descendants of criminals.
Not necessarily, because over there in Great Britain, which is why they did the Declaration of Independence, the same stuff they're trying to hold us to, which I'm going to read, the same stuff they're trying to hold us to, they've been held to under King George, which is why they wanted the Declaration of Independence. The same damn thing. So everybody got all this?
Yes.
No, I mean, oh.
So you better watch the video.
Let me write this down real quick. I got distracted and never wrote this down. The person who lost me. The person who I lost me.
I don't even know why I erased that. I'll be so in my head, y'all. So in my head. What was I about to write down? What?
All right.
Oh. I don't know if I spelled Britain wrong. Is it an A before the I?
Yeah, AI.
AI, yeah. It's retain. Retain.
Actually, they're the Gauls. What is it? What was their name?
That was their name, y'all.
Yeah,
Union Colonies of Great
Because
Britain.
Rome had a hard time with them. For a
And when
while.
and then they became what? The Union Colonies of America, maybe? Because we know America's a current term. That's new. We was a Mexican,
A Mexican, yes.
right? So that's the the English derivative of a Mexican. So they're Union Colonies of America. How they become this? Oops. And when? Because we would sanction that change, nobody else. We would never put that in there. Because to be a state is to be a sovereign. Why? I don't think we put this in here. I think it was that they changed it. So they could hide. And then ultimately try to hypothecate this. Or hypothecate this. United States. That's us. That's them. This was the original them. This was the under Great Britain rule then. Because colonies are just British companies.
That's it.
That's what colonies are, British companies. And we know the first boat came in when?
1607.
And what was the name of the boat? I think
Mayflower.
it was the Mayflower. How many people was on that boat? Around 100. How many people made it to the coast? Maybe 50. Maybe. That's just the first boat, y'all.
Well, actually, there were not only were there many boats, but a lot of people were.
It wasn't no mini boats. Let me tell you. You know
a
how
lot of people
they
were,
couldn't go during certain times of the year. Certain times of the year you could not travel.
But they lost
and many boats did not make it.
and lost a lot of people, right? Because they were lied to by the ship captains. As I said, Pennsylvania is one of the leading.
I won't say that. I would
Pennsylvania.
say that they didn't know how to navigate. And that's why they needed Moors to navigate.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, a lot of people came here to try to get the indentured servant deal, and a lot of the ship captains were lying to them and cheating them.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's
but
true.
a lot of them never made it, and also this is one of the colonies. Pennsylvania is one of the
That's where
colonies
the word
that were worse versus
Virginia.
slavery.
Virginia.
Pennsylvania was the worst one.
I don't know about all that.
No, against indentured servants, they were treated worse than slaves.
All indentured servants were treated worse than slaves because we were more profitable after that switch, after that transition. We were more profitable than they were. If you want to read anything about slavery in the colonies, we were white and we were slaves. Obviously, they're not white. White cargo, colonists for sale, and just start with those three and then branch off to different books. They will tell you exactly what the Albion had to deal with when they were coming over here. But the reality also is there's older books that talks about Albion, which is where that name comes from, because it was one of the original places back in, before so-called Christian time, where they lived as pagans. And to live as a pagan is what? Do y'all know what pagan living is? Because we have very bad identifications or definitions of what a pagan is. What's a pagan?
For what I remember, a pagan is someone who just lives freely, love, just happy to
off
be
of
living,
nature,
off nature,
might squat and take
right.
a pee, yeah.
Animus.
Right.
Yeah, that's what a pagan.
There you go. That's what a pagan is.
Demonize a pagan.
Current overstandings of pagans think that anyway. So they at one time they used to live like pagans. They just lived in different little huts and mutts and stuff all over the land of Albion, which when the Romans came in I can't even remember what year it was. When the Romans came, they called it Britannia. Remember Britannia? They called it Britannia, and they brought all of their lovely wealth and culture to that land, and they upgraded those Albions to a degree. So this is just that's a book. It was called After Rome. It was a book I read in the POW camp because I was really bored, y'all. And I was like, I need something to read that has history in it somewhere. I don't want to read no stupid love story. I need to read something that I can utilize later. And I also read the book about Moses, where it talked about Moses from when he was a baby all the way up until they got into the promised land 3 generations later. And that book was very interesting because it talked about how the people were just so crazy. While it was out in the wilderness wandering for 40 years, for 40 days and 40 nights, but it ended up being 3 generations because they were just so corrupt and they were so enslaved. And it reminded me of Moors today, how they've got accustomed to subjugation and slavery so much so that they don't even realize that they're slaves, and they don't even realize that they've become complacent and comfortable within that.
And they seek third-party validation, like somebody you know is. There are others like her, seeking third-party validation.
Elaborate on that. Talk. What do you mean? You don't gotta use names.
I'm not using names. They constantly ask questions they constantly act without life experience. Like you make a decision and it affects everybody. You're not conscious of it. It hurts everybody around you. They would ask about, well, I want to see what it looks like. No, you need to know because internally you can tell. And they're not picking that up. So there's their complacency. There's what they're used to. They brag, well, I had success going on. I was told this the other day. And I had that. I'm like, God, let me keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to talk to this person anymore. Because they're upset because they went through this process. And it's really their fault. They brought it up. So people bring these things up, put everybody in distress, and it's their fault the whole time.
Does anybody have the Declaration of Independence?
Was that clear enough?
Very clear. So we want to talk about why the Union colonies of Great Britain, why they did everything they did. But I want to talk about how they were liberated through the Declaration of Independence. And through the Declaration of Independence, which I don't even think I have a copy in my book. I don't think I have it. That's one thing I'm missing that I need to download and put in my binder, y'all. I don't have that in here. I have everything else but the Declaration and the Articles of Association. I have everything else. Keep in mind, the United States of America, the Constitution for the United States of America is a commercial contract that we hold the Albions and any other foreigners that come on our landmass to. We are not held to that besides the treaty, where the treaty comes in. And that's the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Our laws that we have to be held to is to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787, 1836. That is what that is what they would utilize for controversies between Albions, modern Europeans, and Moors. So when we talk about sovereign, how you sovereign? And the sovereign citizens movement they're really talking about is between the Albions, where they wanted to gain independence from the United States Service Corporation, which ain't even listed here. That's the all caps. The United States Service Corporation they wanted liberation from, so they created this so-called sovereign citizens movement, which are Albions. And the reasons why that's a terroristic group is because they don't have sovereignty to claim sovereignty. And the citizen cannot be a sovereign at the same time. So that was the movement that they're trying to misappropriate to Moorish American nationals who are the sovereigns of the land. And we know that we're sovereign because they have a timestamp on 1607 with the Mayflower. Our timestamp is 50,000 years ago when we came and left Kemet, which you think is Egypt, to come here and settle over 50,000 years ago. That's why we're sovereign. That's why nobody can refute us. That's why nobody can claim anything. And if you go deep down into the soil and you dig any of our ancestors, any bones up, you're only going to find Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish American nationals. You ain't going to find nobody else.
Right.
Islam? So we know about squatter. We know we can't squat on our own land because we're heirs to it. Can't do that. All you have to do is establish a title and notify all of the appropriate individuals as to you going in to claim a home, and they have to take it off their rolls. They have to take it off their tax rolls. They have to take it out of their system completely. They have to do that and realize that it's in their system as this.
That makes sense.
Everybody wrote this stuff down? Put this in your memory because this is where they are now. They're no longer here. They're no longer here. Okay? They're here. Union colonies of Great Britain. They have dissolved anything else because they warred against the government and the state. Through their outlets and their social platforms and their ignorant wars that think they can still keep playing games. Like I said, Prophet Noble Juwali said industry is going to grind to a halt and nobody's going to be able to do business but under the Moorish American nationals. So you're mindful to start getting in alignment.
Okay.
And we have the repossession process coming with the judiciary. We're still in transition formulating it. But once it's ready for you guys to claim your Moorish estate. That's a house you are in. That's a house down the street. That's the whole block if you want. And get these Moors off out of these hotels, off the streets, out of these shelters, and out of these so-called adoption agencies that are outside of their nationality.
Hey, my heart tells me to bring this up. I gotta bring this up.
Wait, what was I about to write up here, y'all? Wait a minute. Let me figure out what I was about to write. What was it, y'all? Did I bring up Declaration of Independence?
Yeah, I had. It says
The unanimous declaration of the 13th United States of America.
It says United States of America? It wasn't even the United States of America at that
No,
time.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
This was them trying to get free before they could get some type of standing here at Morocco. So they had to declare, they had to do a declaration. Just like how we're doing a declaration, getting them back into our bloodline. Subjects of Great Britain. I wish I had my document because I downloaded it. You got it?
when we get down to the Library of Congress, we get a copy.
You have it?
Yeah, right here. But this is nasty. It says he's right. This is wrong. It shouldn't be the United States of America. It should be the
No,
United States.
that's just them trying to hypothecate. You gotta be able to read between the lines, y'all. And it is not about what they label it here, because the Declaration of the 13th United States of America, it wasn't the United States of America at the time, 1776. So that's fraud. That's unlawful. They were the Union colonies of Great Britain. That's what they were. Because before they could declare and become this, we established specific protocols and procedures and lawful documents before we would give them to it. So they had to do this first. Just like how we got to declare before we are outside of their jurisdiction because we were claiming, not actually there, just claiming to be a part of their corporation. But we could never be part of there. We just were acquiescing our positions. And they were discovering it through the doctrine of discovery. All right? So the Declaration of Independence of 1776 for the Union colonies of Great Britain, because that's what they were at that particular time. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political band, the political bands which have connected them with another and assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. And God means Government ordinance
Department.
in
Government ordinance
departments, all
department,
right? Ain't no mystical person. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind, that's Albion's, requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to that separation. So now they're going to sit here and say, I'm going to name all the reasons why we are disbanding ourselves from that union. And I think we might have to do a declaration of independence from the Union colonies of America to sever those bonds. We might have to do that to let them know that you're no longer a part of our infrastructure, even though the corporate being we did. We did the United States Service Corporation and terminated their trusteeships. We did all of that. We might need to do just a little bit more. The Declaration of Independence has given us a little bit of ideas as to why we need to do that. Plus, we already doing the Declaration of Independence through our nationality document, y'all.
Facts.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And I want to make a note that everybody don't come from, okay, let me say, we come from the Creator. We created something else that is trying to stay neck and neck with us, but they're behind. We come from the Creator, which is why we're sovereign to the whole planet. There are those who are trying to stand neck and neck. Mankind is not man. Mankind is not man. So they cannot stand, it ain't even a copy, so they cannot stand side by side. All right? I'm just going to clear that up. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such forms as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invaluably the same object, emphasis a design to reduce them under absolute despotism. Look up despotism. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies. And such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former system of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain. So now they told you they were colonies of the King of Great Britain. Is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having a direct object, the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states, i.e. colonies, they're not states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to candid world. Now, this is where they're going to talk about all of the violations that they endured. And really listen, Moors, because it's the same things that they were fighting to get away from. They're now subjecting Moorish American nationals under the Negro black colored codes and those statuses. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operations till his assent should be obtained. And when he says assent, approval. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. What is despotism?
Despotism is the action of deposing someone, especially a monarch. You have synonyms of overthrow, overturning, toppling, downfall, removal from office, removal, unseating,
So what was the first
dethronement,
sentence? What was the first sentence? That was the best one.
overthrow, overturning, toppling, The meaning is the action of deposing someone, especially a monarch.
Islam. I hope y'all heard that on the social platform. I hope y'all heard that. Despotism. If y'all didn't hear what the definition of despotism, somebody on this platform post it from Black's Law into the comment section. So everybody, oh my goodness, your thing just died out on me. And we're on the part where we're talking about their injuries and why they are disbanding from that union.
Oh, spell despotism.
Despotism?
Yes, despotism.
He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodations of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual and uncomfortable and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. That's him adjudicating cases over in Great Britain, requiring them to leave the land mass of America, which they probably didn't have the financial ability to do in order to put a claim through somebody or anything. Oh, goodness.
Okay.
All right.
Let's make a correction.
What?
Let's make a correction. That wasn't the meaning of despotism. This is the meaning of despotism. Now, the exercise of absolute power, especially in a
Won't you come up here and do it in front of them so they can hear you?
way.
Do that real quick. What are you laughing at?
So you turn it dark, you gotta.
I'm not gonna keep doing the thing before.
Despotism. Noun. The exercise of absolute power, especially in a cruel and oppressive way. The king's arbitrary despotism. We have synonyms. Synonyms: tyranny, dictatorship, totalitarianism, absolute rule, absolutism. Right.
Islam. So that's despotism. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable of annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise. The state remaining in the meantime exposed, the colony remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion without, from within, as well as compulsions from without. He has endowed to prevent the population of these states, colonies, for that purpose, obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migration hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. So when they're talking about the naturalization of others, that could possibly mean for their family members or different other people to come from Great Britain to come over and get into the colonies to that degree. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his approval to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payments of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out of our substance. And the way they're harassing our people and eating out of our substances is by these policy enforcers constantly pulling you over and violating you and forcing you to pay these tributes through citations, such the like. So that's how they're eating out of your sustenance, because you're paying these in order to get back to work so you can take care of your family. So you're taking away from yours to give to a hypothecator who does not have authority. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of the legislature. He has affected to render the military independent of a superior to the civil power. He has combined with his others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his approval to their acts of pretended legislation. I'm going to read that again. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to the Constitution and unacknowledgeable by our laws, giving his approval to their acts in pretended legislation. That's a good one. Y'all need to Highlight that if y'all got it pulled up. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for the murders which they should commit in the inhabitants of the colonies. They're doing that now. We already know that. For cutting off trade with all parts of the world. They've done that. Whereas though we have to go, we feel as though we have to go through their process in order to do business with anybody.
Embargo, yeah.
For imposing taxes on us without our consent. Oh, that's all over the place. For deriving us, in many cases, the benefit of a trial by jury of our peers. For transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. For abolishing the free system of English law in the neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for producing same absolute rules into these colonies. For taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves vested with powers to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has advocated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us, doing that already. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burned our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people, done that too. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to compete the works of death, dissolution, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. You know that's already going on, the mercenaries, right? Because you know a lot of the so-called policy forces that work for these offices are ex-military.
Yep.
You know that, right? He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their own hands. That's where our people join the military and fight our own people all over off in other countries. Because we don't know that we are connected to all Aboriginal indigenous people all over the land. The only thing that separates us is the body of water and the languages because of the distance apart. He has excited domestic insurgents among us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of war is an undistinguished, destructive of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of this oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be a ruler of a free people. Well, at that time they weren't free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration, our movement out, and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow their usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondences. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies of war and peace, friends. And then the last sentence, we therefore, the representatives of the under United States of America in General Assembly. So keep in mind, their first assembly was what? This document was 1776. The first Continental Congress met when? I can't remember.
1781.
1781. So what are they talking about? United States of America in General Congress. Congress didn't establish in 1791. 81? What? 81? This is 1776. So you got to realize they were declaring, they were in the implementation phase. So they're talking about the United Colonies, the Union Colonies of Great Britain. But now you're trying to declare to be outside of Great Britain. So you're not even going to use Great Britain in that title. So you would just say the Union Colonies of America, something like that.
They were just corporations. They didn't have no authority anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
And the sovereign they're talking about was the king, and that was the sovereign. It was his right to do that.
Yep. And that's why this paragraph is so important. We, therefore, the representative of the United States of America, we're going to say the Union Colonies of Great Britain in General Assembly, assembled appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, due in the name and by authority of good people of these colonies, now he's calling himself a colony, solemnly publish and declare that these United Colonies, he done said 3 different things here, y'all. The Union Colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British crown, and that all political connections between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of the divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor.
So you have all their stuff just to have this, and all they got is just a corporation.
So my question is,
They went back to a corporation.
who helped them do that?
We did.
We did. How did they declare independence? How? They're a Union colony on foreign lands and quartered in the 13 colonies off the coast. So they had to have us to assist them, and that's what they're talking about. I forgot what it said. The Supreme Judiciary. What did it say? Did you go off the page? Appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world. Why did they say the Supreme Judge of the world? Because we was the Supreme Judge of the world, y'all. We was the Moroccan Empire.
Yeah, because John Adams had to they were trying to get treaty with the country and they couldn't do it. And it was the emperor that told them they had to become a country. That's when they went out and each of those corporations organized to become organize a legislature.
Now, somebody said
But it was still a corporation. It didn't matter.
that is incorrect. I hate when people leave
It's not incorrect. I got
bad
a copy of
comments.
it.
I don't know what he's talking about. He said that is incorrect. What is incorrect?
I got a copy of
We're
it.
just talking about what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. You can't just leave a comment saying that is incorrect and not validate what is incorrect. Leave a complete.
Might be an argument.
The reasons why I like dates is because I can understand what was going on at that time frame. So we know we're talking about the Union colonies of Great Britain. So we know this is
1776.
that too. 1776. But this is a corporation.
Absolutely.
It's a company, a British company. How can somebody disband and be like, look, we don't want to be a part of you no more. But yet that whole infrastructure is what created you. It's what, how are you doing that? By just this. How's that happening? Because if I'm over the king of England, king of Great Britain, and I get this document, and I'm like, who the hell do they think they are?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I'm gonna say when I get this. And then I'm gonna call my brothers, because I'm the British Moors. It's the Moors. I'm the British Moors. I'm gonna be like, yo, what y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all helping these people? These are my companies. These are my corporations. Suffice it to say, they never got that separation, y'all. They still property of Great Britain.
Yeah, I questioned that.
Being sold to the highest bidder.
A
Because
question.
it's a company, corporation.
Years ago, in high school, and I'm saying, why are they still talking to England if they've broken away from England? They still talking to them.
And why is the Pope doing civil orders letters telling them what to do? And why did they shut down the whole Morocco when he came here, y'all? If this actually happened.
Well, we know King John lost England to the Pope, so part of it's because they own England.
What?
They own England.
Who?
The Popes of Rome. Pope Innocent III, 1213 A.D. He lost the land of
He
England.
didn't lose it. He gave it away.
He gave it away because
the
contract he reneged on it.
Because ain't that he reneged on the contract?
The barons of England forced him to sign the Magna Charta.
Because they was holding that so-called religion, that Christendom over his head and salvation and all that stuff. And because Albions was taught that this was really a religion, they just taught them that because that's the only way they could control them. Right. By giving them a false doctrine and using all this gaudy Christian churchy Jesus stuff.
England didn't go by the Catholicism. They went by the Anglican Church. It's called an Anglican Church.
And they used the Vicar of Christ. They says every new pope is the Vicar of Christ. They're standing in Christ's place until he comes back.
Absolutely.
That ain't gonna ever happen. You know who the Christ is? Each one of us.
And they got all these Albions for thousands and thousands of years, killing and raping and pilfering all over the freaking planet for God, for Jesus, for religion that was only established and created to subjugate them. And that religion came over on our shores, and our people deal with the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, they preach Jesus. Yep. Constantine. Old man Constantine. My man.
But their Pope Francis said that he came in his own name in 2014. Jesus messed up. He came in his own name.
Who?
Pope Francis said that.
He came in his own name?
He came in his own name.
So he didn't come in Jesus' name. No. My man. That's why they try to get rid of him.
And then now you see kissing the feet of the Sudanese, because I guess it's a royal family over there in Sudan, which we know is Kush.
Well, actually, Sudan, that's also Morocco.
We know it's Kush as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything's breaking down.
So what about these other Albions kissing these here so-called, letting our brothers and sisters kissing our brothers and sisters' feet?
Well, it's the same thing. It's just the overlay.
What do you mean?
Like,
it's just the overlay.
My niece posted something and was asking me questions. She knows I'm more. And she asked me, why are these Europeans kissing these brothers' feet?
Because they know who the sovereigns are.
They know who the sovereigns are.
This is a way I explained to her, this is a way they ask.
The only people that have belligerency and that arrogance is over here on this continent. Mm-hmm. That stuff is not in other continents the way they perceive it in social television. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Trump already told you. Everybody lying to y'all. They fake news. He told y'all that.
Trump was also quoted stating that they're questioning Trump if he reads the Constitution or not. And he was saying, well, if you look at the 14th Amendment,
he went straight outside. He just jumped right off of it.
So if you voted for me as a president of the United States, you just committed treason because you went against the American Republic.
Yup.
Period.
Trump is trying to tell y'all how in sin you really are. Regardless if you know it or not, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You'll still be held accountable for everything you do, whether or not you did it because it's your job to do it. This is my job. This is a corporate policy. I heard this a lot in the POW. The policy is the Constitution states. Because what is a policy when held up against the Constitution? Null and void. If it violates.
Actually, it's called void of law. I was reading some jurisprudence, and it points out that any statute or law or unconstitutional
anything that goes against
that is not in pursuance to the Constitution thereof is void of law.
Everything that goes against it. And it says specifically.
Volume 16, second edition, page 177. Oh, yeah, I read it.
Good, Tiger.
It's in my letter I sent you yesterday. If you get a chance to read that. I did a draft letter, so all Moors can use. So
it's what?
So it comes from the Moorish.
This Constitution and the laws of the, this is Article 6, Clause 2. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States Major, that's us, shall be the supreme laws of the land. That means every directive the Moorish American Consulate gives under the judiciary through the Moorish American nationals is the supreme law of the land, just so you know.
Well, yeah.
And the judges of every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution and laws of any state, to the contrary, is not withstanding. And we have to realize this commercial agreement is foreign. This is not, we are not obligated to this as Moorish American nationals because we have unalienable and inalienable rights. These are commercial contract for anybody who wants to come here and do business and enjoy the milk and honey that we have to bestow upon you. So I'm going to read that again. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, that's us, y'all, shall be made pursuant thereof. And all treaties made, so whatever treaties we have established or shall be made under the authority of us, the United States, shall be the supreme laws of the land. And the judges of every state is bound to it. So whenever we give directives, whenever we sit there and tell these individuals, they have to stand down. And everyone that doesn't stand down, you're just getting put on the list. You're getting put on the list of those individuals who will get deported off the land. Because when we give our directives, regardless of if our voice isn't loud enough for you to hear it, all it takes is one more to say it. That's in their sovereign capacity. And you are bound as subjects to adhere to it. Amendment 10. The powers not delegated to the United States, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively and the people. And it was interesting because when I went to the tribunal for those traffic tickets with Harry Karapalides, I quoted Amendment 10. He said, yes, the state. I was like, you're not a state. You're a corporation. And this is how they trick you because they think they're really states and they're corporations. Right. Or let me correct that. They know that you think that they're states when they're corporations. They know that you think that they're government when they're corporations. They built their whole infrastructure on top of you. But the reality is it's your infrastructure because they can't own a thing. They don't own a thing here at Morocco. Now, I'll be hearing so many disputes about the 13th Amendment with the 20 sections. I ain't going over that. I'm not doing it. United Nations.
Don't forget the 11th Amendment, March 1794, because it has limitations on suit equity at the federal level. So you got to keep the 11th Amendment. I looked it up. It's March 1794.
Article, what's this? The United Nations Declarations of the Rights of the Indigenous Moors. Y'all gotta use what y'all had. Where's it at? Or is it human rights? Is it human rights?
Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Which one is it, y'all?
Well, human rights is Article 15, Section 1.
There you go. It's human rights.
Yeah,
there we go.
Goes into it.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. On Article 15, everyone has a right to a nationality. No one should be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality, nor denied the right to change. Now, you can't change your nationality. I don't care what you're thinking about. I don't know why that part is in there. You have absolutely no ability to change your nationality because it's completely based upon who you came out of. So nationality is based on who you came out of. So you cannot change it. You can stop enforcing it and act like you're somebody else. Like you can sit here and stop being an Irish person and all of a sudden like, well, I'm white. But lawfully, you ain't did nothing. you're still Irish. And that was one of the things that I talked to other Albions while I was in the POW camps at George W. Hill Correctional Facility. And the Albions, they knew who they was. They would be like, first they would be like, oh, I'm white. They were like, really, where you come from? Oh, I'm Irish. And then one said, I am a German, Irish German. I'm like, wait a minute, who's your mom and who's your dad? My mom is German, you're German. Your mother determines your descent nature. No one else. Your mother is the control. Man, let me tell y'all.
I met a guy who came from Ireland on 2 different levels. One was his mother from South Ireland, the other was his father from Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland has the most political, influence. So he chose to get his nationality from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, people think they can choose. Like, you so in dishonor and you wonder why you're getting your butt kicked. Whoever you came from, how you going to not honor your mother? How you not honoring her? She brought you here. Say thank you. How about that?
And Chris, you got to remember, these people don't pay attention to what's going on around them.
Not at all.
I work construction up in New York, and I had this Irish guy tell me, he said, we were niggers before you were.
He said that was actual factual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Can you get him to put
He
that
is the original nigga. You don't need him to put that in no affidavit. Law speaks to that.
No,
They know who they are. Why you think they put that evolutionary bullcrap and try to get us to believe that we came from monkeys? Because that's where they came from. And that's why they are the original nigga.
Well, one lady.
They know who they are. There's a TV show called. Oh my God, I forgot what the TV show is called, y'all. It's about Neanderthals, and I don't know if it's called Hairy People or what is it?
PBS special. It's the family that walked on all fours.
Oh, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yep, that was over in like Hungarian or Bolivia or somewhere like that. Try to hide that stuff. Yeah, they gonna go back down, y'all. Just so y'all know. Yep, everybody's got to go back to their own vine and fig tree. So they're gonna start hunching again, and that's why and that was the original reasons why they wore those little corsets. So they can straighten up their back. It wasn't because they wanted to. No, because they walk like this, and it was to straighten up their back. That's why they don't have butts. All that. I learned that, man. I'm telling you, I got to read some stuff.
I saw on I think it was a TV or YouTube, one of them. It was a European child running on all fours.
That's the way they used to be. Yeah. We taught them how to stand up straight. We taught them through the age of, look, y'all.
There was a guy.
They owe us everything. But at the same time, we have to admit, we did some stuff that we shouldn't have been doing by mixing people. We did this stuff to them. So they're a little mad. Rightfully so. Wouldn't you be mad if you came into a world and you had no descendability? Wouldn't you be mad if you came into the world and you were an indentured servant, slave, Slav for the rest of your life, hoping that people will be fair to you? Wouldn't you hate that? Yeah. I think I would. I have sympathy and empathy for them. I really do. But right is right, wrong is wrong. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And we paid for that. Trust me.
There's a movie that
we're paying for that now.
There's a guy that was downtown on the elevator. He admitted he was a troglodyte.
Yeah, like if you get in alignment, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you keep gang war, you got a lot to worry
about. I was at the store, and this Chinese lady who was the owner of the store got mad at me. I guess my mask may have been given away, and she told me why. She said we created these Europeans, and I said, "What are you talking about?"
Yes,
I knew what she was talking about. I knew it. I want to know what she was saying. And she's
pretty mad.
Yeah, she was mad. She was upset. It's down at 10th and Germantown where them Chinese got the. Yeah, she was closing the store. Was with somebody was doing a campaign, and she needed pocketbooks and went in there, and she laid it out on me.
Yep, my
mask revealed it.
This was who?
Chinese lady. They know our history. They know who we are.
Oh yeah.
That's just proof.
So, they all just mad at us because keep in mind we set the frequency on this earth because we are the gods of the earth.
Absolutely.
We said it. So all the violence, that's on us. All the love is on us.
Preservation.
Well, listen to this. Article 8 of Universal Declarations of Human Rights. Y'all want to know what I'm reading from? Just so y'all want to know what I'm reading from?
Yep.
The binder for newly nationalized Moors that y'all all supposed to have. Print it out, Moors. Put it in your binder and be ready for class when we have it. Because I'm going to be referring to this. I gotta add the Declaration of Independence and the Articles of Association to it though, because we gotta use those. Those are the supreme laws. That's what we hold them to. So we gotta know them.
What's Facebook?
Facebook, the Facebook group, Moorish American Consulate, Indian Maxim, has the binder for newly nationalized Moors. So join the group, go to the file section, download it, and then when you get a chance, take your butt to the library and print it out, and then put hole punches in it and put it in the binder. Because it's all of this is part of the binder. And I read this all the time. I take it with me everywhere. And there's other series. I got like 12 series of binders for y'all. Organizing the information so it can be a benefit to you instead of being all scattered on 1,000 different websites. So I had this one, Getting Grounded, Consul Commissioning, the ones with all the courts. I have a lot of them, y'all. I just don't have time to get to it. I'm just saying, I just don't have time. There's a lot going on. All right. Treaty of Peace and Friendship. I want to read that. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Right here.
Article 4 and Article 14, 15, 20 through 23.
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all know what's funny? I was in a Wawa the other day. I missed this. But Aaliyah, who came down and helped us from New York, getting the stuff out the storage container, big ups to you, Aaliyah, and your son. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Islam, Islam, Islam. Because we worked that. It was beautifully hot that day. The day before, it kind of rained, and then it stopped. It was like, okay, what you want to do? But anyway, why did I bring her up, y'all?
She helped you out.
She helped me out, but there was something I wanted to say. Oh, goodness. I'm really losing that fast.
All right, maybe it's something I said about the treaty. Article 4, 14, 15, 20 through 23. Did that help?
No.
A video on her going to a video on her going to a traffic hearing.
No. I'm mad.
Some in Wawa.
Wawa. We was in Wawa. Thank you.
Never heard of Wawa.
That's that feminine energy, baby.
We was in Wawa, right? Connecting. We and it was this foreigners. They came in and was like, you got the Kingdom of Morocco flag on you, right? And I don't know if y'all remember, about 2 months ago, we got an influx in the Moorish American Consulate Northeast group from a bunch of Albions who think that they're Moroccans of the Kingdom of Morocco coming in and descend upon our group. So every day we was getting a request to join a group like 80. I was like, yo, what's going on over there in Kingdom of Morocco? Like, what's going on over there? Somebody told them to come. Oh, y'all, they sit here hypothecating our platform. No, you don't have a platform. You're a corporation. Let me tell y'all. The easiest people to deceive are foreigners. And I'm going to say Albion. Y'all so easy to deceive. Saying, y'all don't even realize y'all all part of the same family. Seriously. Y'all think the light-skinned ones, the dark-skinned ones, the blonde hair, the brown, black hair. I mean, y'all all the same. Y'all got minor differences. Minor bloodline differences. But y'all all the same. And y'all been utilized all over the damn continent, this continent, all the other continents, to create these corporations. So the Kingdom of Morocco was established in what year, y'all?
1956.
1956. The Moroccan Empire, the Morocco flag is how old, Moors? Over 50,000 years old.
That's how long we been.
So you stole our flag. It's our flag. It's not your flag. It's our flag. We're the nationals. You're an Albion. Like every Albion all over the place, hypothecate somebody else's estate. So I hope we put that to bed. The question you need to ask yourself is, what was that landmass called before 1956? Yeah. So I'm done with that. I'm done with sovereign citizen crap. I'm done with the Kingdom of Morocco crap. I'm done. I ain't speaking of it no more. Y'all better find out who you are. And the best way to find out who you are and where you come natively is through your mother. And if you don't know who your mother is, go ask your grandma. You don't know who your grandma is, ask your great-grandma. If you don't know who that is, you got to go to a blood test.
I thought the flag was red. It was red before France stole it. France took
Ours was all red.
Right, but
the prophet put the 5-point green star in there. It was all red. Didn't even have a damn. They had nothing on it.
And decided they're going to force it on them. And 1912. That's what happened. But it was actually ours. It was all red. I already
Well, I
looked it
already
up.
know it was ours. 50,000 years, you can't refute 50,000-year-old flag.
No.
Nobody can refute it.
No.
Because half the people ain't even been here 50,000 years. They only been here 6.
The basic of the flag, all the flags, has been red. So the whole time it's been 50,000 years ours. And the only time it changed with the green 5-pointed green star, when France stole it from somewhere, and then Noble John Lee took it and adopted it and made sure it was clear. So he closed all the doors of them grabbing stuff, and that's why this is ours. And that's why Kingdom of Morocco can't claim it. They can't do anything.
They can't claim nothing because it's a corporation.
Right. And they're a corporation.
They can't go to no lawful venue claiming nothing. They're gonna be a what, y'all? If they go to a venue talk about they the Kingdom of Morocco, what is going to be? They're gonna be what is it? I didn't want to say it. I have an issue. I didn't want to say it. They would be a what?
Well, they won't be
kind of just like
They won't be a kingdom because
kind of just like Dred Scott when he tried to.
Petition is freedom.
He was a what? What was the ultimate judgment in the case?
It was
slave.
Yeah, but what was
it was
you got it.
I read that. It was
he was a plaintiff in error.
Plaintiff in error. Yeah.
You got if you want to sit here try to gang war, not gang war. I'm sorry. If you want to sit here and try to claim anything from a Moor, you better be in your proper person. And if you from England, France, Dutch, Poland, Germany, Irish, Scottish, you ain't got no claims here. Russia.
Yeah.
All these places.
Even the word slave.
But our brothers and sisters who are from the continent of Africa, y'all left us. Y'all was here. Those are corporations, but those are corporations under the crown. Mm-hmm. But you came from over here. You abandoned us.
Right.
Just so you know.
Nigeria.
And they went and they took y'all over there and tried to straight annihilate y'all, but used each other to do it. Anyway, are you nationalized?
Yes, I am.
Do the thing. Are we done on our live broadcast? What else y'all want to talk about? Question and answers. African American. What you talking about, Brandy?
Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Y'all want to read the Treaty of Peace and Friendship? Y'all want to talk for an hour? Get off this platform. We did 2 hours. I only said I was going to do 2. I got here at 2:00. I think that's what time we got on. And we're done on the Facebook Live. So does anybody have any questions before we adjourn on this Facebook Live? Do we have to go over anything? What do we have to go over? Stand in your square, Moors. I know it's hard. I know you want somebody that, we're accustomed to the Jesus complex. Somebody's going to save us. Nobody has saved us yet, so why do y'all have that complex? I'm just wondering. Whew. I don't know. Why we feel like some knight in shining armor or female in shining armor is going to come and save our asses. Y'all all going to have to stand on your square, and y'all going to have to get rid of this Dorothy syndrome. That's what I'm going to call it. Well, actually, it's a Dorothy syndrome. Actually, stop being a scarecrow. Stop being a cowardly lion. Stop being the heartless tin man, and stop acting like you Dorothy and you fell on your head. You did not fall on your head.
Jesus Christ. Christ is not a last name. It's a title, and you earn.
Why
that.
we go there? Why are we going there?
Because they worshiping Jesus. We got to make that clear right now. They Jesus. All you gotta do is activate your pineal gland. You're Christ. That's the end of it. Bam, done.
Islam.
Justice.
Back
to the Moorish
Dorothy,
Empire, which is Islam.
I was at
master.
Dorothy.
That's it.
That's where I was.
That's why I want to bring that up. You should always bring that up because there's only 2
Islam. Dorothy.
Yep. Stop being
a scarecrow. Stop being a cowardly lion. Stop being the heartless tin man and acting like you Dorothy. You still got your head bumped. You realize she never left nowhere. Her ass had a dream. Sure did. You gonna continue to have this dream of oppression that is an illusion that never happened? That you are the driver in your own life? Traveler, probably a better word. And you are owed. You are owed. Your children are owed for you to get this and get this damn grid done. Get it done. Because we have more stuff to come down the pipeline, Moors. And only Moors going to be able to claim anything. If you ain't a national, you ain't got nothing done, nothing sealed up, what you doing? That's what? Nationality. Grid 1. We over here in Grid 1. Nationality, national identification cards. I want to put leader to the straw in Grid 1, but that might be a little too complex for y'all in Grid 1. So nationality, 8 locations, nationality identification card. That you have effectively stepped out of Grid 1 and into Grid 2. Can anybody tell me what Grid 2 is?
This is the,
I know what it is.
I trust the law.
I did the damn grid. I know what the grid is.
Private trust.
Hey, the liens take
And
about
I'm going to give y'all the mantra too. That's going to be the last thing. I'm going to write it out freehand. I'm going to say it 3 times. See if y'all remember it.
You need to bring this up because people are.
Stop talking, Tiger. I'm going to tell you stop talking right now.
It's concerning
I'm going
liens.
to tell you to stop talking. What?
People are bringing this up. They need to get this
All right,
straight
can we
now.
finish a second?
No,
What?
on here.
What?
They bring up that the lien should be done in Massachusetts. You need to end that. Bring it back to the affidavit.
liens-
because the
what?
affidavits are.
What?
All right, people are doing liens in Massachusetts. Should be where we've been working on it, and it should be by the affidavit, not by their forms that they have set up. And people are talking about it. You need to change
Massachusetts forms?
it. You need to cut it
Massachusetts forms?
in Massachusetts.
All right. The corporate district of
corporate
Massachusetts,
jurisdiction.
they have a form.
Yeah, they all do. Pennsylvania has it too.
And people are doing their forms.
They need to
Why?
end that.
Why are they doing
I ain't
their
asking
forms?
why. I'm just saying since we're doing this, you need to.
Sovereigns are sovereigns. You create affidavits. You don't use any corporate forms because the boxing laws is going to neutralize your spell that you're writing. You use your forms. You use your signs and sigils. You use your flags. You use yourself. You're spelling, baby. Just like how they spell you, you're spelling them back. But if you go to use their forms, you neutralize your spells because they're all in boxes. And all those boxes is named. So by the time you sit here and keep crossing out name, appellation, you might as well do your own form. So just do your own affidavit and stop listening to the Moors that want to put you back to sleep because they comfortable slaves.
Thank you.
Is
They
that
need
good?
to know that. Yeah, they do know that. They
That's
need to know
good. Now
that.
where was I? Grid 2.
Great too.
Trust. Have you established and created your trust, and did you complete your declaration of trust and send it to the county? Did you do that? Certified return receipt. And if you didn't send it to the county, we got to get it on the website for the Moorish American Consulate. And if you didn't put it on the website for the Moorish American Consulate, put it in the file section of the Facebook group. Everybody can put files in. Put the files in. And that's the declaration of trust, the allodial trust, and the cover sheet of the trust. That's grid 2. I think the lien for your straw mans should be in grid 2. That's me. Get it done. The liens for the straw mans, because it's going to take 3 months to effectuate these things. Right to travel process. Anybody got that done? I did mine a long time ago. Got my tags. The courts. Notice of removals to documents. Now, to do the notice of removals, you got to have your MAC number. So you have to have your record numbers for your nationality documents. We have Brandy doing nationality recording. We have Demetrius for the Northeast region doing nationality recordings. And you have me again doing nationality recordings. Right? And right now, nationality identification cards are going to be going to either Brandy's consort, Nigel, or Abasi. But for right now, I don't know who has an overflow. So Brandy, if you don't have an overflow, let me know. Abasi, if you don't have an overflow, let me know. So when I get orders locally, I'm going to send them up to you guys or the Nazi brothers down in New York to get them done until I get my machine back from the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Agent Spook.
Wow. That's his last name for real?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you got the national human trafficking process for when you do get detained and kidnapped. Family members need to know how to do this, but we need to create a committee. We need a subcommittee of the Moorish American Consulate that keeps track of all Moors that have been hypothecated through those POW camps. I need 11 volunteers from all over the continent, all over Morocco, to volunteer to be a part of that group, that committee that'll stay on Facebook and social media, letting us know and doing a detailed list of still the Moorish American nationals that are still being detained at these POW camps. 2 of which are my consort, the Corey Christopher Pitts L, and Nora, the vizier of Florida Territory. I need to have this information done, and I can't do it all, Moors. We all have to get in and do this work. I don't care if you're scared. I don't care if you don't have no heart. I don't care if you're a coward. You can log on a computer and do some documents. You can get that done and just send them to us. Your babies need you. Your babies depend on you. How many generations we ain't passing this down the line, y'all. My baby's free. They already free.
Can somebody put the addresses for those who are on the other side of the wall so people can also
the addresses?
communicate? Yeah.
That's a great idea. We need, not only do we need this extraction team that's going to get all that information, like y'all, we got to get this work done. And y'all not going to make Sharon do everything. Sharon's not doing everything. I'm delegating. The ancestors told me to delegate. They have been telling me this forever, which is why I'm delegating. We need that department, because that department's gonna have their own numbers that people are gonna call if they do get detained, so we can have location. We can put let's say 50 notes on their books immediately, so they can call somebody. Being able the consulate writing them to find out what information they need to send them a care package of the supreme laws of the land so they can't stand on a damn square. They need this stuff. I needed this stuff. I was in there for like 7 days, like, no one loves me. No one loves me. I ain't get one letter. I ain't complaining. I was in there writing my own shit because I knew some stuff. I knew a lot of stuff. If I had the document, like I said, I'm gonna post what I said. And the mantra, I'm gonna find somebody that know the damn mantra. Now, writs of affidavits. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We in tier 6, and then we got tier 7, which is the supreme laws of the land that everybody needs to know. The commands and the directives. The commands and the directives from the sovereigns, who are the only people that can give commands. So we've given many, many commands. And it's neutralizing all of the business here at Morocco. And that's why you see all of what you're seeing. It's neutralizing everybody. Because like Prophet Noble Drawley said, industry is going to close. And it's going to open up in favor of the Moors. Why? Because ain't nobody else going to be able to do nothing. Because we done leaned them all out of business. All right? But this grid is outdated because there's so much more that's going on. We have a lot more going on. We have acquisitions of property. Reclaiming your Moorish estate, that's coming down the line. That's like right here, right in your face. Boom. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to sit here and do that damn repossession documents. You're going to give it to, for Delaware County, Mike Donahue, or let's say Jerry J. Sanders Jr., who's the actual sheriff. Has anybody ever laid eyes on this man? Does he exist? I think we need to manifest seeing Jerry J. Sanders Jr. He's an Asiatic. Ain't seen him. I keep saying Mike Donahue, the chief. So we need to lay eyes on the actual so-called elected official of that corporation. We need to see him. And if he doesn't exist, somebody else needs to be in his place. And I don't suggest Michael Donahue. I'm just sorry. Anyway, where am I at, y'all? So we need the
treaty piece.
So we need the group for liens. We need a lien committee, 11 people at least. We need an extraction committee, 11 people at least. Donate the time and energy. Bring, if you want to be a part of that, on Thursday's call, make it known so we can start that information. I'm going to help you organize it, but I am not going to be managing it. Okay, y'all? I'm going to get it together and just like throw it to you. Throw it to you. So when we need liens done, y'all can do the liens, get them, and send them to the people who need them. And then all we do is sign them and do what we need to do with them. Or y'all process the lien department. Because we're going to need those departments because everybody's going to get shut down that's violating every freaking body. You're going to get in alignment here at Morocco. Or you're going to leave.
How I did a lien on somebody, I even on my straw, but I didn't get notice that there was a lien. I never received a notice.
Huh?
Don't they notice you that there was a lien put on you or on
It's not on you.
Straw man and Social Security.
It's not on you.
Yeah, but you should be noticed that took place, right?
Who we dealing with again?
Did you get the return card?
That's your notification.
Yeah.
Okay, how about if you did a finance company or insurance company or
It's
whatever?
the same thing, the green
Return
slip.
card.
So the green cards let you know that if they.
If they had it.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you realize that
No,
they're
but
not going to, if they show one person, do you realize what will happen if one person will see that? Do you realize they're slowing that down? Because everybody, Moors, they want to see stuff. And the ancestors telling you, I ain't showing you nothing. You're going to be yourself or you're not going to be yourself. I ain't going to show you the damn trail. You're going to walk in this line because you're supposed to be there. You shouldn't have to see proof that it works. It's your bloodline. It's your baby's bloodline. You're denying them because you need to see something? Right. Seriously? Right. And you think your ancestors gonna be like, who the hell they talking to? Y'all better get in line. Seriously. The babies need you. Seriously. I'm not even playing. You don't need to see nothing. All you need to do is be in honor and do what you need to do. And prophet said in this, I, the prophet, this is divine warning for the nations. I ain't reading it all. I'm just going to read the one's part. The divine warnings by the prophet for the nations, not just nation, nations. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to the state of mind of their forefathers and divine and national principles, that they will become law abiders and receive their divine rights as citizens according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. He said citizens and national beings. You get the point. They are to claim their own free national name and religion, which is alignment. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government in the earth, and it comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine and national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. And through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under their free national constitution in the state governments and not under a granted privilege that has been exercising conditions for many generations. Now, some of y'all gonna say, oh, he said citizen. Some of y'all gonna say, oh, he said state. And some of y'all gonna say, oh, he said government. Y'all gonna get all trapped in the words because y'all ignorant and incompetent. And I can say that because in some areas, I am still too ignorant and incompetent. Not these. Know that only you can establish a state, sovereign. Know that government is sovereign. Anything else is a corporation. Corporation, ain't no damn government. And there's contracts and laws and treaties that govern us. So my question is, before we close, who knows the mantra? All right, come on up here and state it 3 times in a row. But you can do one. I ain't gonna leave you do the rest.
3.
This one.
You gotta get down without
It's long.
Get straight
What am
down.
I speaking?
Just straight down.
Speaking in the right thing.
Hi, Islam. I am Tahir Rasul El Basir Bey, impropria persona sui juris, impropria solo and impropria heredis at all times. I am a descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet and of the Moabites and Canaanites. I am an aboriginal, indigenous Moorish American national, and I am exercising all of my rights at this time and at all points in time. You are commanded to state your name and nationality for the record to be read into the record immediately without further comment. I am the law. I am the government. You do not have jurisdiction over me. You are commanded to return my property immediately, cease and desist all actions and contact immediately. Take a leave and never return. This is your due process of my notice of intent to leave you. If you do not do as commanded, then take your leave.
Islam!
So, under pain, penalty, and perjury, please state your name and your bond number.
That's a good one. I mean, that's great. That could be added. That's
Because they never
great.
get the bond numbers. That's why.
That's great to add. That's great. Anybody else know the mantra?
Generally don't do it.
Anybody else want to say it? We gotta get 3 people to say it. At least 3. Come on, mama girl. Really? Nobody else? Come on, Tiger. You don't know the mantra? You just had a tribunal. You ain't state that for the record?
No, not yet. I've been spending time researching, preparing.
I am Sharon Tracy Galbay, Moorish American National, impropria persona, sui juris, improprio solo, improprio heredis, at all times and at all points in time. I am a descendant of the great pharaohs of Kemet and the Moabites and the Canaanites. I am the law, I am the government, and I command you state your name and nationality for the record, on the record, without any further comment. You do not have jurisdiction over me, and I command you state your name. Oh, and I command you set me free, return my property, and cease and desist all actions against me, as this is my notice of intent to lien you if you do not do as commanded and set me free. Notice the agent, there's notice the principal, notice the principals, notice the agent.
Dang.
Islam.
Give me your bond number and your oath of office. Say that 3 times, only say that. In those tribunals, because you don't want to get past in personam jurisdiction. Let's say that 3 times. In personam jurisdiction. In personam jurisdiction. In personam jurisdiction. Islam, Morris. We're over. Finito. That was fun.
Now you say
Yeah, we still.
return our property. Suppose you don't have any property of yours.
Huh?
Suppose you don't have any property.
You are the property. You haven't turned me.
Okay, so they have you on bond. You have to. That's property they got of you.
And your